Okay, welcome to the Morning Ramble. I'm Matt.
And I'm Eric. We're talking things Marvel.
All things Marvel, all
That's
the time. Go out and see Venom. It's a good movie according to people, bad movie according to critics, which aren't people. They're actually secret snake monsters.
And we would know because we saw the movie.
We didn't see the movie.
My ice is going to make noise today.
That's... Is this ASMR now? Or?
I don't know.
And the wet ice. Anyway,
It's quenchy.
Quenchy?
It's the quenchiest.
All right, we've got some memes we're gonna be messing around with today.
That's the
Nothing
show.
too heavy today, I don't think.
No, we're talking cheese.
Yes, right now we're talking cheese. So,
Marvel, now cheese. Let's do it.
yeah, let us know what's going on with that cheese, Eric.
All right, so looks like we have our local news station up. It says here, American cheese has been a staple in U.S. kitchens for decades, but Bloomberg reports that its fortunes appear to be heading south. That's how you say that word.
I love the fact that our local news station is just like, quick, we need a story.
Let's talk about cheese.
Cheese.
Well, the reason why we're bringing it up, it says here, millennials blamed for declining American cheese sales. I buy American cheese. Do you buy American cheese?
I do, actually, but it's certainly not my favorite cheese.
No, I buy it because it's universal when I cook and when I do things.
Yeah.
But when I go out, I never get American cheese. Like Subway, no. It's either provolone or Swiss.
Or the sequel to Provolone. Provolone 2, Lost in New York.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
It's very clever. You get a sip.
But so there are a lot of stories like this that just go around like, millennials are killing this industry, millennials are killing that industry. The fact of the matter is, like any industry that's gone out of business, they haven't adapted with the times. Look at Blockbuster. They didn't adapt with the times. They got kicked out. They
I
had
miss
a chance to
Blockbuster.
buy Netflix, and they were just like, nah, we're
That's
good.
crazy.
And if they had done that, Blockbuster would still be alive in some sense.
Maybe they just don't want to admit American cheese. It's not that good. It's fine.
It's not.
It's fine, but
I mean, it's not the best cheese. I mean, there is Cooper Sharp American, which is actually like pretty darn good.
yeah.
But and like I saw like Applebee's is losing business, Olive Garden's losing business for millennials.
Good.
But the fact of the matter is,
Olive Garden is a glorified microwave.
we're busy going to Panera Bread.
It's true. Well, not anymore. The tornado took it out where we're at.
I miss that Panera Bread.
I have to go the opposite direction a half hour to get to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, my favorite cheese, pepper jack. It's just a better cheese.
It is a better cheese.
I think they were talking about how, like, they were saying people now like to buy, or millennials like to buy, like, just like a block of cheese or something like that. if
It's
they're gonna
great.
buy it, because it's delicious.
You get it? Great. You can grate cheese.
No puns.
I'm real. Yeah, you're probably
puns.
right. Sorry.
No
Sorry,
puns.
everybody. That was 100% my bad. But yeah, I've also seen that millennials are killing mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah. It's like we didn't really kill it. We just watered it down a little bit, added some extra flavoring, and now it's called aioli.
Oh, I don't use that.
Yeah. I don't really care for it that much.
I just buy mayonnaise.
I like mayonnaise,
Because
but
Miracle Whip and mayonnaise are the same.
they're not the same.
They're the same.
They're
They're the
not
same. I don't even taste the difference. They're a little bit different textures between Kraft and Hellman's. Yeah, Hellman's. That's the brand.
Hellman's is real mayonnaise.
And that's what we have. I just don't care.
Real kosher mayonnaise. I don't know if it's kosher.
It's kosher.
Anyway, we're going to move on from cheese
Let's stop
because
talking
we
about
really
cheese. Stop talking about cheese.
we just really went off the tracks.
It's like one of
there.
those foods where I'm not even hungry talking about it. It's like, eh.
Well, I'm talking about just talking about cheese in general. I'm just like, man, I could really go for some like cheese curds or something.
No.
I like that. I like those things.
All right, let's move on to parenting.
All right.
That's what we're specialized at.
We're specialists in parents. He's a parent and I am not. So,
Yeah.
all right. So this one says, parents, how do y'all feel about this? Parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea someone hits you, you hit them back, you are part of the problem. And then the person responds underneath, if my kid asks your kid to stop bullying him or someone else, and they don't, my kid has full permission to rock your kid's shit, and I'm not even sorry.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That was the idea that I was brought up to. If somebody hits you, you hit them back.
Yeah.
Self-defense is important. You don't...
I think it depends on the situation, but I think it's also hard for a kid to determine what that situation is, because they're kids.
Nobody really knows exactly when you should do things. But if somebody actually physically hurts you...
I think it depends also on who. As someone who has 2 girls, if there's, boys, physically picking, you know what I mean? Just punch them right in the face. That's fine. I think that's fine for a girl to hit a guy or a boy in school. I don't know. If you're in school and you're around teachers and stuff like that, and someone's picking on you or whatever, and you have the ability to run to a teacher, I know that's not what you should do in school. It might look, kids might make fun of you for that. But honestly, do you want to be suspended?
Think of it this way: school as a total is preparing you for life. That's the entire purpose of school.
Mm-hmm. Well, not very good at it.
And to tell you the truth, saying, hey, just solve your own problems by yourself, that's not the way things work in the real world.
No.
If someone's messing with you at work, you can't just hit them.
Yeah.
That'll get you fired, and that'll get him fired.
Probably arrested.
Yeah,
You're getting arrested. That's assault.
Yeah, when you're an adult, things like this actually mean stuff.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see where that person's coming from. We're being like, oh, you're part of the problem. But at the same time, self-defense is important. If somebody hurts you physically...
You're not just going to sit there and take it.
Yeah, don't sit there and take
it. But, I see what you're saying, though. You can't just say, oh, if someone's picking on you, punch them. You know what I mean? Or something. That's not okay.
Yeah. I've met a lot of people in the real world that their first line of defense when it comes to having a problem is just hitting somebody.
Well, yeah, and I watch a lot of comedians, too. I was watching one recently. He was talking about how he gets mad when his wife hits him or something like that. It just really ticks him off. And I'm just like, that's not even an option. You know what I mean? Why are people hitting each other? Are we apes? Are we cavemen? Why are we slapping each other?
Yes.
You can't talk? It's very strange. It's not even in... I don't get it.
The key to conflict resolution is finding common ground and working on your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hit people.
That's what we do here.
But if somebody hits you, you can hit them back.
Okay.
I like how we just took that full circle.
we just agreed to everything and everything. Okay. What are we doing next? Oh, Hillary. Talking about hitting people.
Can you just say the name of this page?
Okay, I'm going to say the page. God Emperor Trump. That's his Twitter, right?
It is. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, if he did that, that'd be amazing.
That would be
trolling.
That would be amazing.
At its finest.
The thing that I find hilarious about this page, and I was going through it, and there's some funny stuff on it, is it is a pro-Trump page.
Mm-hmm.
When I see things like that, I really thought that it was going to be just kind of making fun of him.
Yeah, you mocking him and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
But it wasn't. A lot of it was very pro-Trump. It was very funny.
Yeah. So you said you read this article, right?
I did.
Okay,
yes.
I did not. So you can tell me about it, but I'll read the title here. It says, Hillary Clinton would now beat Donald Trump by a landslide, polls say. That's stupid. I didn't even read the article, but just the title. It's stupid.
It's hilarious because the poll said she was going to win to begin with.
Yeah, she's going to win all the time. Apparently she's always winning, but never. She's winning in Fantasyland.
It was just so funny when I looked at that, and I was just like, really? Somebody took their time, sat down at a desk, and was like...
But do Democrats even want Hillary Clinton?
No.
Do they even want her? No one wants her.
No, nobody wants
her.
They
want the Clintons to just please go away. It's kind of like Jeb Bush. How did he do in the primaries? Not very good. Yeah. You know why? We're just tired of the Bushes. I like George Bush. I like George Bush Sr. I'm nothing against him. I'm just saying... This isn't England. We don't have one family to rule them all. Okay, we don't have a king. We don't have a royalty family.
I would like to hang out with the Bushes.
I would,
because I feel like they would be very interesting to talk to.
I think George Bush's oldest daughter just got married. I saw on the news last week, something like that. They had a secret wedding and they had pictures. I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
And I'm happy for
her.
The one picture. showed George Bush Sr. in a wheelchair in the front row, and his face. I know that it's just a picture caught in the moment. He's just like he just looked disgusted with everything.
Can't believe this is a secret wedding.
I know.
I
don't know.
I love it.
What were we talking? Oh yeah. So what
we did get off topic.
Did the article say anything of note or?
No, it's literally the same thing. Like on a poll taken by Routers, Hillary Clinton would have beaten Donald Trump by 66% to like 30%.
That's a little lower than where they had her. What was it, 98 to 2 or 1? I don't know.
I mean, it was very, very high odds for her to win.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about polls. The fact of the matter is, people who care enough to take a poll
mm-hmm.
are going to be on one side or the other generally, because the pages that share these things are generally news sites.
Yeah.
So if you take a poll from CNN, you're going to have a heavily left-leaning poll,
mm-hmm.
which is not going to represent the numbers. If you do the same thing in Fox News, it's not going to represent the actual numbers. And there are some moderate news sites, not just sites, like companies and stuff like that. NPR comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
They try to stay in the center as much as possible and just get the news. And I think that's because they are publicly funded.
Yeah.
So they really, really depend on their listening base. And like, I go to a lot of people's houses for a living. I have gone to heavily right-leaning people, and they're listening to NPR. Heavily left-leaning people, they're listening to NPR.
Yeah.
So there are some neutral.
I just like to grab my news from everywhere. That's my thing.
That's a great idea.
The truth is somewhere in the middle. And even like some of the right leaning like podcasters and on like late night shows that I watch online, they talk about their experience with some of the mainstream like Fox News, and how they obviously said, like, in the pitching room, like they said, no, like older Republicans want this or this, and like and that's what they pan to, because that's where they make their money, is those couple million people that watch that.
They need to have their base in order to make money.
Yep. All right, and now it's time for Rubio Watch.
Yes, the best segment on this program.
Mm-hmm. What's he doing?
Rubio's state recently got hit with a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So Rubio, completely bare-chested,
that's right,
is going through the streets of Florida in the devastation with a hammer in one hand,
yep,
and several other tools in the other hand. He's got very big hands for a pretty short guy. He's like 5'9", but he is heroically fixing up Florida.
That's right. He can fix it. Yes, he can.
This has been
Rubio Watch. That's right.
That's my favorite thing.
I know. We'll check into him next week, see what he's doing.
Yeah.
See how much progress he's made.
Don't worry, guys. We'll keep you posted on Rubio.
That's right. Get all your Rubio news here every Sunday morning.
Morning Ramble exclusive, except it's not.
Trademark Rubio. More Trump.
Gotta love him.
Someone with big hands. Trump. It's just fun. It's just fun.
That just reminds me of Trump being in one of those Whopper commercials where he's like, but I've got these tiny hands. That's going to make the Whopper look way bigger.
Oh, that's right. This was when he was talking at the UN. I think we spoke about that before.
We did. Yes, we mentioned it.
When the entire UN laughs at you, but then you remember that you're in control of the world's single largest supply of nukes, and there's a little smirk. I mean, I don't know if it's a point you really want to point out with all the craziness that people claim.
It's kind of hilarious because people point that out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, but we have nukes. Yeah, but MAD exists.
Are we committing mass genocide?
Like
I don't know what we're doing. Why is that a point?
If we start throwing nukes out, Russia starts throwing nukes out. Everybody who has nukes starts throwing nukes out. And then we have Fallout.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let's do that. I love the Fallout games.
We can't talk about Fallout.
Why?
Because I have never played Fallout.
You've never... What?
I have never played Fallout. Never.
Eric, you need to play Fallout.
I don't.
Also on video game news, Spider-Man game for PS4. Really good. It's really good.
I don't have a PS4.
You can borrow mine and play Spider-Man.
No.
It's really good.
I have enough video games. I have no time to play.
And in this one, he doesn't even turn to dust.
Oh, I get it. Took me a second. I get it. You movie reference, video game reference.
Yes, I did the thing.
All right. Anyway, back to Trump. I think that meme, it would have made it less funny, but I think the point that would be better made is that it's like, we are in control of the world's largest nukes or whatever like that supply. I think it better say that we are the defenders of the free world. You know what I mean? Like, as of all these countries, you know what I mean? Like, obviously the U.S. contributes the most to the UN, contributes the most to the world, I would say. That could be argued as far as import and exports go. Obviously, we're not like the highest exporter of goods to the world. That's not us, obviously.
This is true. We also have the world's most heavily funded military.
Yes,
not the biggest, but we've got the most stuff.
That's right. We have a lot of toys.
We got a lot of planes and nobody to fly them.
That's right. We don't need to. It's video games.
Oh yeah, did you see the for the first time in 6 to 10 years, I don't know the exact thing. The Army did not, I mean the military in general, all branches, they did not meet their recruiting goals for this past year.
I think I did see that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was very interesting. And, obviously, like, that makes you kind of wonder why, what's going on.
I would say what our goals are, though. Like, do we need as many people as what their goals are?
Not at the moment, no.
We're not, I was about to say we're not in a time of war, but technically we are.
I mean, we've been in a time of war for like the past
200 years.
It's been a very long time.
Since we've been a country.
We're pretty good at war.
We're excellent at risk. We got cannons. We got horses. We got the cavalry. We're good.
Yeah. We actually only use cavalry now.
We should have Risk and just have a live stream of us playing Risk for 6 hours.
I'm perfectly fine with that. You're going to have to teach me how to play Risk.
That's a shame.
But anyway, I found that very interesting.
Yeah.
Just that drop off in personnel, because for a while there, people were signing up like crazy. And I think that a lot of people that I've talked to in the military, I know this is not true for many people, but there have been a pretty good number of people that I've talked to in the military that literally only signed up for the military for that GI Bill. They literally only signed up so that they could get educated.
And that's honestly, I don't see a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone should be judging people in the military based off of their intentions or motivations. Like, like if you're like, hey, I'm going to go, because I don't think it's taking the easy way out. I think a lot of people view it that way. Oh, you're taking the easy way out. Just sign up for the military. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy.
That was the attitude in high school. As I've gotten older and think a little more, I do not want to go to a place for 6 weeks, get the shit beat out of me, then go to another place for several months, get the shit beat out of me, and then have to go to hostile lands.
Yeah, and it's not just that too. Like, even I have a lot of friends that are in the reserves. You know what I mean? They have commitments they have to do every month. It's like you have to go to training, you have to take time off your job, which obviously a lot of jobs, they have no problem with that because you're in the military. But it's a lot of work, and so to do that just so that you could have your education paid for or partially paid for, I'm not sure how it works.
It depends on
the degree, I'm guessing.
Not just the degree. They will cover your bachelor's, basically, and it depends on where you go. If it's a public university, then it's basically paid for.
If it's private, I'm guessing it's a percentage.
It's a percentage thing.
Which makes sense. But yeah, I don't see an issue with that. But
I think that the illusion of the heroic soldier that is just going in to, save the day, I think that's always kind of been an illusion. There are certainly people who did that, who went into the military because they wanted to help their country, and this is what they've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, this is a means to an end. That's why we've got a lot of one-termers that go in for one term. They won't sign up for anything else, and that'll do that. And I've got friends, I'm not going to mention any names, that literally signed up for the military so that they could get trained in a specialty so that they could then have skills for the rest of their life.
And again, I don't see an issue with that. That's good. I mean, you're kind of doing two things at once. You're getting experience, and you're also providing a service to your country.
Yeah.
So
you're helping yourself, you're helping your country. I see no problem.
And then eventually you're qualified for a job, and then you'll be helping society. So,
but in that vein, do you think that because we're not in a state of heavy recession anymore, do you think that is the reason why those numbers have dropped off?
That's possible. I think it also has to do. I think it has to do with also physical capabilities. I think coming from me, I think this country's a little overweight. I think that has something to play into it, don't you think? Kids coming out of high school, don't you think? A lot of people. That, yeah. Maybe not even just shape, but maybe like they don't have the ambition to do it. Like they just look at that and they say like that is too hard. Do you know what I mean?
I think you might have something there.
Like I think that I think it has to at least play a small factor. I don't think it's like an epidemic. Well, not talking about weight, but talking about like as far as the military terms. I don't think it's an epidemic. I'm sure they're just fine.
Right. If anyone has served in the military and wants to come on the podcast and talk to us about stuff like that, hit us up.
Yeah, because we're super qualified to talk about this.
Yes, as we are with every topic we've ever covered, ever.
Hey, I know my cheese.
And I know my Wendy's. Sponsored by Wendy's. Not really.
Cheese.
Sponsored by Square Burger.
Oh, because they have Square Burgers.
Square Burger.
Okay. All right. We have a tweet.
Oh, is that what that is? I don't have Twitter, so I don't know.
The Twitters. I know all the Twitters. It's a quote from a movie.
What movie?
Lucky Logan. Came out last summer. Daniel Craig. Channing Tatum. They rob a racetrack. Excellent. Let's move on.
I just want Eric explaining movies in a monotone voice to be a normal segment.
And it has to be like just one-liners.
And actually, I want it to extend to video games as well.
Okay.
Like, I want you to explain Superman 64 to me, just deadpan. All right, you're Superman. You fly through rings, and then you lose. Mm-hmm. And graphics are bad.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Anyway.
I'm going to review Fallout now. You fall out. And you're wearing the number 76 because I saw a trailer that had 76 on it.
Yeah, Fallout 76.
I have no idea what that is. Okay, moving on.
Also, Red Dead Redemption's coming out next month, I think.
Another game I haven't played. I know.
Eric, what have you been doing?
I play Halo and Madden.
All right, do you want to read this to us?
Sure. All right, so we have a tweet. It says here, requiring doctor's notes to excuse absences due to illness is inherently classist in a country without universal health care, and I really wish we talked about it more. Well, we're going to fill your wish. Let's talk about it more.
We're going to talk. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Talking about it.
When I initially saw this one, I was like, I was with her for a second, and then I was like, it is not inherently classist to require a doctor's note to have an absence, especially from work. Now, it does not say that this is for work.
Yeah.
It could be for school or something like that. I don't know. But basically, if you take off of work, and especially if it's a common thing where you're just taking off of work,
yeah,
you really should be able to prove where you're at. Now, granted, when it comes to like calling off occasionally, we all just occasionally call off and just you don't want to work that day or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it becomes a recurring theme, your employer who hired you to do a job and they need you to do that job has the right to know what kind of stuff you're getting up to.
Well, I also think it depends on like when you say like calling off. What is it? Wait, hold on. What words does she say here? To excuse absences. Like it also depends on the job. You can't just apply this universal blanket. I work two jobs. One of my jobs, it doesn't. I mean, unless you have some type of disability and you are granted like FMLA, if you know what that is, you're allowed to take off work because of some kind of medical issue. whether it's that or if you're sick and you don't go to, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you have a doctor's note. You just have to use your own time. And then if it becomes a recurring habit, there's consequences, which that's one. And then the other one, you can have a doctor's note, but it's still going to kind of count against you, even if it's excused. And if you have too many, then, if you have too many, obviously there's something wrong. There should, there's something greater wrong with you, like whether, if you have to have surgery or something like that. But, not having notes, that just says that, you have a problem, you're sick, and you need the time off. You can't, that's pretty much saying, like, everyone is inherently honest. And they're not.
Right. I think that the basic problem with this whole thing is that people immediately go for the big blanket on every topic. They're like, all right, now here's a problem with our country. Healthcare. Let's say that. Mm-hmm. The solution, universal healthcare. Our healthcare system in general is universally broken. There needs to be more than just saying, all right, let's just put this cure-all onto something, and then it's done. And that's the same thing with saying, something's like inherently classist. We live in a capitalist society. There are going to be classes. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to argue the morals of a capitalist society or a more socialist society. Yeah. Not today.
Well,
but
I do kind of actually want to go into that because I was actually talking about this earlier this morning with Andrea. But going into the healthcare system, everyone wants the same thing. We all want the same thing. It's just a matter of route of how we get there. Democrats, and now since the Democratic Party is going a little bit more socialist, and they always, more social programs and stuff. And it's not like people who believe in, the free market and capitalism are against social programs. It's just they don't think it's the solution for everything, and they don't want it to be. They want it to be the means to an end, But they believe in supplying it all for everyone, so everyone's covered, and we all pay in a little bit, and that way everything's good. I think that in order to combat the healthcare system, I think that it needs to be opened up more to the market. There needs to be competition. How come we pay 99 cents for a hamburger? Why? Because other places also charge 99 cents for a hamburger. There's competition for people's for customers. You know what I mean? And in the health system, there's not really that type of competition. You know what I mean?
There are building monopolies happening right now when it comes to different healthcare companies.
Yeah.
How many, even in our lifetimes, and we're both 26, how many hospitals have you seen get bought out by bigger carpet companies?
Yeah.
There were private hospitals in Wilkes-Barre, in Hazleton.
Yeah.
They're owned by Commonwealth. They're owned by Geisinger now. They're owned by all these big giants. Mm-hmm. So there is competition, but it's very limited.
It's very little. And it's not all aspects of the healthcare industry. If you look at eye doctors, that's competition. You can price let's say LASIK surgery. You can go to several different eye doctors and get a price from them, and they're going to be different. And they're going to offer different things to get your to get your service.
Yeah. On that topic of eye doctors. How much has it changed over the past 15 years? 15 years ago, especially in this area. Mm-hmm. 15 years ago, you had to go to eye care specialist or something like that. You've got to go to this doctor. Mm. Now I can literally walk into Walmart, get a pair of glasses for $100. They're done in a week.
Walk out.
I'm out the door.
Yep. Yeah, there's a competition there, and that's the market at work, and I think that's what the healthcare hospitals and doctors need. There needs to be some type of competition. I'm not saying to the point where it becomes, I guess what's the term I'm looking for here? Malpractice. They go, they start going cheap on some stuff.
Right.
But to just have this blanket, if you don't pay for it, the government will, or if you can, you know what I mean? That's why the prices are so high. And, it's not just, also dentists, you can go to any dentist you want. You can shop around and see, and a lot of times you might not even need insurance to get that type of work done.
Yeah. And you know what? I do think that general doctor's visits are actually going in the right direction, because how many of these walk-in clinics have popped up over the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
So many of them. It seems like there's one on every street corner now.
Yep.
And there's probably as many of those as Starbucks.
Yeah, and
it's just about as cheap as Starbucks.
Yeah, and I think it's also going the right direction. I found out recently that you can with my insurance, you can actually go online and talk to a doctor for a small copay, just a small copay, and get like a consult. Obviously, they can't see you and stuff, but you can talk to them if you have a small issue. And this way, you're not spending a ton of money on a full visit or taking time out of your work day and stuff like that. And I think that's what we need. We need more versatility in how we get our health care. Right. It can't. The whole, like, you have to go to the doctor, X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? It's expensive, it's time consuming, and a lot of people just can't afford it anymore because of the way that this has progressed. And
absolutely.
And
there needs to be change, but nobody has the full answer right now.
I don't even think there's just the full answer. I think it's like just the power to, like, how is it possible? Is it laws? Is it regulations? Is it the lack of regulations? Is it more regulations? I don't know what the answer is.
Is it better government control? Is it less government control? These are not easy questions to ask, but somebody needs to talk about them.
Yeah.
It's the conversation that's important right now. I do want to bring up something because we're approaching a very important date. The deadline to register to vote in Pennsylvania has passed.
I say we already passed.
So
if
you didn't register to vote, sorry. Mm-hmm. I put a reminder up on our page on Facebook. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook.
That's right. Why aren't you?
Also, I wanted to ask you, why do we not have Election Day off? Why is that not a holiday? It is in many other countries.
That's a great question.
It really makes sense. Now, and because the polls are open until 8 o'clock, is it?
Yeah, 8 o'clock, and at least I don't know if that's universal, but in ours, I think it is universal. I think it's 8.
It's pretty much
8 p.m. Across the board.
So it's like, can I go home after work and then run to the polling place? Yes, I can.
But people's lives are different. That's the thing.
Yeah. And people work different times, and it's hard for people to vote. Sometimes they have to go like 20 minutes out of their way just to get to a voting place.
I've used vacation time to vote. I have left work early and used my own personal time to go to the booth and vote because, I work 2 jobs and sometimes I don't have time. Now this year I'm going to try to schedule. Maybe I'll get my schedules turned around so I can. I'm going to vote, but I'm basically I have to take this extra step in order to vote. And a lot of people have kids. You know what I mean? And sometimes taking like your kids to the voting booth, I mean that's a little inconvenient. It could be crowded. Now,
granted, we do have like our absentee ballots and stuff like that.
That's a pain.
That is a pain.
It's annoying.
I really do think that we should get that should be a holiday.
Absolutely. I know someone else brought it up, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but someone else brought it up. Why do we have to go somewhere to vote? Why can't we do all this digitally?
I mean, it is technically all on a system.
It is on a system anyway. Why is it something that we can't? I mean, why isn't it something that we can just do?
I mean,
like
I
can file my taxes online.
About it. Well, yeah,
file my taxes online. I register my car online. I do everything online. You know what I mean? Is it all secure? No, nothing's 100% secure. But
I mean, there were a lot of questions about security with these voting machines during the election.
Yeah.
During the last election. So.
But then you're going to have to say who's developing this website or this system
Tesla.
To vote. Because it definitely shouldn't be our government. We saw how that went with the universal health care.
Let's have Tesla do it.
You mean Elon Musk?
You get a free flamethrower every time.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Every time you vote.
No, I do think it needs to be more available for everyone. Because I think if we did have the day off, there would be no excuses not to vote.
Yeah.
Other than just lack of caring.
Here's my proposal. Mr. Trump.
You're watching.
You're watching this. I know.
Yep.
I am formally asking you to make Columbus Day not a holiday.
No.
And make Election Day a holiday.
Why are we talking about Columbus Day now?
I mean, I completely forgot that Columbus Day was even a thing.
It's a thing. I don't have it off, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Nobody really has it off.
Federal employees do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Federal employees do.
Yep.
Just make Election Day a holiday, please.
Or make it on a Saturday.
That would work.
I know some people still work on a Saturday, but the
Yeah,
majority of people
less
work.
people do.
Way more people work on a Tuesday.
Also, what's up with post office hours? Why are they only open until 4?
I don't know.
I work 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Post offices, stay open later.
Yeah. Go out in the night and deliver our mail.
Now I'm just ranting about
We don't know
things that just seem
where are
unfair
we? What were we
for me.
talking about?
I think we're pretty much done with that.
Oh, we were. Let's not even talk about
Yeah,
that. Who
I
cares?
just
Get a doctor's
wanted
note.
to
Stop being lazy. Go to work. End of discussion.
Yeah, just go to work.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, that was a ramble.
This ran long enough. You're not going to be watching.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the
Thanks for
Morning
watching.
Ramble. Enjoy. Gritty. There he is.
I'm not going to put him there.
No, come on, dude.
He's right. No, he'll be there.
Okay.
He'll be there right now. Just zooming in closer to the screen. As closer to your screen.
I'd actually die for him now.